Hey. Hey everybody, this is the Dating Sage, and today I'm cooking for my lovely, lovely Lady Kim's family. So what we're doing is I'm going to bake a couple of whole chickens in here, in this batch right here. I'm going to squeeze them all in there, on this nice bed of aromatics and some root vegetables and onions and what else I got in there? A little squash and carrots and all this good stuff, some garlic. And I'm roasting this pan full of vegetables over here. Lots of zucchini, some turnips and beets and carrots, just all kinds of fun stuff. And tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes and onions. And garlic, of course. And then I think I'm going to do a gratin of just potatoes and a little cheese if we have that. If not, it'll just be some flavor with some aromatics and herbs and whatnot. So it'll all be good. So it's meat and potatoes night. What up? So we're seasoning the chickens. We're doing it somewhat Thomas Keller style, very simple, dry, with nothing but salt and pepper. And I'm going to throw a little marjoram on top. We're doing it at about 450 for about an hour or so until it's ready to rock and roll.
And who's this handsome fella?
This is your dad.
That looks incredible.
This is the man who's going to enjoy
Kim,
the heck out of this stuff.
Before you were born, I used to do all this stuff, but then you got to be so expensive, honey, that I had to just go to work all the time. Yeah.
I didn't need to hear that.
That's the truth. Yeah. You don't know how welcome what you bring to the table.
It's beautiful.
We got a chef here. Wow.
Here's a quick spice tip. Whenever you get dry spices like this, put them in your hand and crinkle them out, which bruises them and cracks them up. It makes the flavor pop a little bit better, so it lets it go further. So all I'm doing is a little marjoram on top, salt and pepper. We're going to put these straight into the oven, and there you go. Like I said, about an hour or so until it reaches about 170 or so, because you want it to get 180. Once you take it out and you let it sit for about 10 minutes with a foil tent, the degrees will rise, so it'll get up to about 180, which is the safe temperature for poultry. There you go. Remember, don't kill your date with bad poultry. And here we go. And in they go. Now we start on the potatoes for the gratin. Well, I am making a potato onion gratin, which is just going to be very simple. I try to keep it low fat, so probably won't even be using any cheese. It's just going to be olive oil, salt and pepper, some spices, the potatoes thinly sliced, and onion done in layers. Do you guys have any? Oh, if you have low-fat cheese, we won't be doing that. Low-fat cheese is not cheese. Oh, because if you want it to melt down, it does not melt down correctly. Garlic here, sprinkle it with some garlic salt. Garlic salt. Yeah, garlic salt will work nicely. The garlic, a little salt. So we get that. Let's try to get it to actually come out. There. Sprinkle it around, give us a little flavor. And then we do our next layer. So we've already got some potatoes here, so here we go again. More and more and more. I will cut more onion as I go. But if you're putting potatoes, kind of layer them in like this, because they're all, you want to have a nice presentation with them. So when you're cutting them, now a lot of people say you need to cut them, cut a little bit here. This is just a safety thing. Here, and now you've got a base from which to use, so the potato won't rock back and forth. And you already got a scallop. There you go. So that's safe. And then you just cut them nice and thin all the way across. I'm going to try to get them as uniform as possible, nice and thin. And this is in the cutting technique in one of the videos I've given you guys before. You move your fingers back while you're pushing the food forward, and your knife goes along across your fingers there, so you can cut thin and quick. So, now you've got these beautiful thin scallops. So you put them in here. Scalloped potatoes. Gratin is a fancy word for scallop. You know, you've seen Betty Crocker scalloped potatoes. Well, okay, well that's fine too. It's the same thing, except that comes out of a box. This does not. don't get it out. A little more on the garlic salt down to here. And we'll do one more layer. Bring it up to the top. I'm gonna have all this extra potato. I had my sous chef cut a little extra. How about that? Well, we've got some roasted golden beets, and they're chilled. And I got some thinly sliced little romaine lettuce, and I'm doing a red pepper now. Nice little shards, so every bite gets a little bit of everything. I'm gonna throw in some cucumber, some red onion, some heirloom tomatoes, or I may skip the heirloom tomatoes and go with orange segments. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. I gotta see what kind of vinaigrette I'm gonna be putting together. So,
How many people are you cooking for?
6 to 9. I think there's gonna be 9 total, but they're coming later. So we're doing about 6 right now. So I got 2 chickens in the oven and all the roasted vegetables and a potato gratin and a nice big salad. So hopefully that should be enough to feed everybody healthily and happily. So and I'm just going to cut these down into smaller segments. It's a good way to pile them on top. See how I'm piling them all on top together? And you don't have to cut as much. You push down and 1. Then you get all your sort of julienne taken care of. In 1 easy cut. See? It's just that easy. Then we sprinkle that in. So we get that going. Look how beautiful that is. Then we go with our cucumber. Now here's the thing about a cucumber. Some people like the skins on, some people don't. I like to do it halfway. Pleases everybody. It's nice to look at. You got a little bit of something there. You get rid of the rest. This way, if you want to do chunky, try to chop it now. Or I could go one more section, have it smaller. But I'm going to go kind of chunky on this one. Oops. Kind of lose it there at the end. I was going so fast. I was breaking speed limit. So, there we go. So now we have some nice cucumber in there. And I'm going to add the red onion because the red onion is a really good foil with the cucumber. It's going to be kind of a Greek style because I'm going to make a blue cheese vinaigrette. I may make a blue cheese balsamic vinaigrette. I'm not sure. Just got to see what all we got to work with. But that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. And that will work nicely all together. Okay, so we're basically done with our salad here. Got layers and layers of things in here. I'm putting some little plum tomatoes here. We've got red onion, cucumber, romaine lettuce, celery. These are heirloom tomatoes. Some of these little bitty tomatoes that are very, very good. Bell pepper. And now I use the best tool in the kitchen, my hands, to give it a little toss here. And of course the red and green peppers and the cold already roasted beets, golden beets. And I think I'm going to add some, check and see if we have some olives and things. But anyway, you get an idea. Nice big salad for everybody. And then I'm going to do with this, I'm going to do a vinaigrette, maybe a balsamic vinaigrette or a red wine vinaigrette with blue cheese chunks to go with it, which is just knocks it out of the park. It's amazing. Okay, everybody, one more time. We're finishing up our salad with a balsamic vinaigrette, which, there we go. I'm going to start, it's very, very simple. I don't even have to give you guys measurements. Throw some balsamic in with some garlic. Got some minced garlic here, very simple. A little bit of Dijon mustard. Some of you are old enough to remember. Better than me, do you have any Okay, so we got that. Oh, good. Then, a little salt. And this one we're using Himalayan pink salt. Oh yes, very impressive. I'm going to throw in for some sweetness a little bit of honey. And that's going to cut it down because there's a lot of tartness here. And I don't want a lot of tartness. And this. So we need some pepper. Okay, so what we're doing is we've got the vinaigrette working. So we've got the mustard, the Dijon mustard. We've got some honey, we got some garlic, we got some salt, we got some pepper. It's all good. Now one other flavor thing I'm going to throw in. Since I'm cooking with marjoram tonight a lot, I'm going to put some marjoram in here to keep the flavor kind of going. I've got a little marjoram on the chicken that's baking, and I have some marjoram on the gratin and a little bit in the roasted vegetables. So it's not an overpowering herb. It's just very nice floral scent. So it's going to have a little touch of it. But I want to keep that going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk all this together. So I want to incorporate the honey, the mustard, the garlic. Everything comes together with the balsamic vinegar. All right. Now the kicker on this balsamic vinaigrette is that I'm going to have this balsamic vinaigrette set up, but I'm going to put it over some crumpled blue cheese. So it's going to be a blue cheese balsamic vinaigrette, which is going to be very, very nice. I'm going to add a little bit of water to give it a little more consistency here. Just a touch. That gets us moving. And I want to have a little acidity. So, you know, if we have a lemon, or I bet one of these oranges is kind of sour. I'm just going to do that. Why not? Because I feel like it, that's why. There we go. Oh, beautiful. That is going to do amazing things right there. If I can get some of it in the actual pot there. Okay, so now we've added a little acidity. Now it's time for olive oil. So we whisk it in, a little drizzle of olive oil while you're whisking it in. Because what we're doing is we're adding air because water and oil don't mix. So we want to mix it up with the vinegar and everything together and we get a good thick consistency. But what we've got to do, we've got to whip that air in there. And if you're worried about your weight or anything like that, just don't add as much olive oil. That's fine. I think it's going to need more olive oil because it's a texture thing as well. And I'm a genius. That tastes amazing. But I'm also going to add a little more honey. Now see, this is the thing about cooking a vinaigrette. You make it however you want it. How does it feel to you? Does this taste right to you? If it doesn't, great. Keep playing with it. You can't go wrong. You cannot screw this up, guys. You can't screw this up. So just mix it all together, and you're going to put it over the salad, and we'll do that in a little bit when we finish it off with the blue cheese. You're going to love it.
Look at that. Joanne? I don't think it can be eaten. It's too beautiful.
Yeah, well, we got a little time. So I just took it out of the oven. And you see all of the vegetables all around the base. They're all cooked nicely. The chicken's cooked perfectly, and we need to tent it and let it sit. And normally I'd move it off the heat, and I think I will do that actually. I'm going to put down. Do you have any trivettes or? Here, I'll just use these. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I want to take these off of the oven because the heat is still rising, and I don't want to cook too much more because it was really close to the full done. It was more close. It was closer to the 170 180, and it's going to rise up a little bit. So I don't want it to dry out. So we need to let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, and it'll be fine. Which is fine because I still have gratin over here, and roasted vegetables are still doing their thing. So we're good. And now I'm shutting that, and that's that. All done. And it's the family thing.
It's a fit.
It's a family affair. Joanne. Okay.
He's doing it wrong.
Me?
Yeah? No, that's for me.
Okay.
You get the head of the table, honey. You cook dinner.
You can never be a Balkan.
Really? Come on.